Call the Boca Raton Center for
Welcome, everyone.
At 561-953-5490. That's 561-953-5490. Or visit our website, hormonetherapybocaraton.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with over
What a day. Welcome. Going live right now.
For single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs.
Lots going on, lots to talk about. Hey, Nicholas.
With 9 offices in South Florida, including downtown.
That's right, fellow deplorables.
And downtown Miami. 1-855-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeart.
Yes, yes. Welcome to the program, everyone. It is 3 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. It is Thursday morning. Can you believe it's already Thursday? One day away from Friday. That's right. In the 27th day of February 2020. We get an extra day in February this year. There are 29 days in February this year. Welcome, one and all, to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, and also the most pro-Donald Trump radio show anywhere in America. I promise you that. I apologize for being late today. I had a family emergency. I'm not going to get into too many specifics other than to tell you at 3 a.m. I had to take someone to the emergency room for something. Everyone is okay. Everyone is okay, thankfully. But I had to take someone to the emergency room this morning at 3 o'clock in the morning. And they are back home, and everything is fine. But I had to also bring them home from the emergency room. And everything is okay. But I'm here. See, the show must go on. I might be a little late, but, you know, a little emergency in the middle of the night. And boom, I'm still here. The Trump train chugging along strong. Oh, man, so much to talk about. So much going on. You know, the liberals are really rooting for that coronavirus, aren't they? Oh, my goodness. You know, President Trump in his press conference yesterday, what a great take charge kind of president. Surrounding himself with all the experts, all the people in charge. Everyone is on top of everything. And calming the nation down, explaining how this is not really a big deal. And even though it's a small little deal, he's got everything under control, bringing out the top experts in the world out there with him. And, of course, the left hating. You know, the media are so irresponsible. With the media and their Trump hatred. And there's only, other than the media, there's only one person who hates Trump more than the mainstream media, and that's Nancy Pelosi. But the media are involved in creating a national panic. They're out there creating a national panic because they believe a panic will harm Trump. And right now, the left are rooting for a couple of things. One, panic. Two, the stock market to crash. So they want economic collapse. They want panic. And if some people get coronavirus, well, hey, listen, their sacrifice is for the greater good of defeating Trump. And is that not the tone that you get from the mainstream media? It's the tone that I get from the mainstream media. You know, there's a lot of reporting today. I was reading an article in BuzzFeed and many other places about how conservatives and really Trump people like me, like many of you out there. Is there anyone out there in the listening audience who does not support Donald Trump? Call me. I want to hear your story. Why would you not be on the Trump train today? 1-888 cocaine 1. I'm serious about that. Unless your name's Alda John, you're not you. Is there any doubt in anyone's mind that the media and the left are rooting for the coronavirus? What do you guys think about that? It seems they are to me. That is the tone that I get when I'm watching the mainstream media. The media are in the business of keeping everyone in a constant state of anxiety. And that's what they do. And they do it for a couple of reasons. One, they do it because they think it'll hurt Trump. And the other thing is to keep you watching your television as long as possible to help the ratings, which allow them to raise their advertising revenue. because everything's done by the quarter-hour ratings, and that's what they're doing. They see this as a big ratings boom and also a distraction from this failure of the Democrat candidates to do anything other than fail. So everything is under control. And yeah, people, you're seeing articles, people are talking about it, that Trump supporters, conservatives, don't think the coronavirus is a big deal. And that's true. Look I was shocked yesterday when President Trump announced how many people die each year of the common flu. And I got to tell you, I don't get the flu shot. My daughter doesn't get the flu shot. My wife, we don't get the flu shot. I don't, now this is just my opinion. I don't know. Should I be getting the flu shot? I don't know. I don't get the flu shot. I have not gotten it in years. But they are definitely trying to panic people for a variety of reasons. Ratings, harming Trump. And yeah, you're right. Trump people don't think corona is that big of a danger. And one of the reasons that is because we don't trust the media, right? We don't trust the media. The media have lost complete confidence. There's this story, Project Veritas has a big thing dropping. Is the Project Veritas drop today? Is that today? James O'Keefe, who is one of the great American journalists of all time. I love James O'Keefe. He is spectacular. James O'Keefe does incredible work. His only problem is he started off with something that could never be topped. That's the acorn. The acorn. And once you do that acorn, nothing could equal that. I mean, that was just a beaut. But there's an ABC reporter who was fired because he was caught by James O'Keefe's undercover cameras of saying he's a democratic socialist. That doesn't help. We have a failure in media in this country. They're now activists. They're not journalists anymore, and they're not even hiding it. It was one thing when they pretended to be journalists and hid their opinions. Now it's all opinion. So we've got a big problem with journalists today. Big problem. They're all a bunch of power-hungry democratic socialists. Not just this one guy. So there's many things going on, a whole bunch of things to talk about. I'm a little chaotic because when I had to go to the emergency room at 3 o'clock this morning with someone. Luckily, the ER was basically empty. It was a slow night in the emergency room. So things went very fast. Very fast. Got right in, got everything done. So that was good. Didn't have to wait around all day. That's why I'm able to be here live on the radio now. So again, I apologize for being a little late today, but I could have taken the whole day off. But no, there's a responsibility to you and the listening audience. And when I was driving in today, it was during the 6 o'clock hour, which I don't get to see the roads during the 6 o'clock hour very often because I'm on the radio then. And have been for a long, long time. And between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning, I've been inside a radio studio pretty much every day, forever, during the week. And I don't realize how many people are out and about on the road between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. My goodness, it's like rush hour traffic during that 6 o'clock hour. And I know, it made me like, gosh, I wish I could be on the air right now because there's so many people in their cars. So, yeah, I know. It's amazing how many people. Well, you know what? Maybe the roads are busier during the 6 to 7 o'clock hour because of the great economy that our president has given us. So we'll talk about all these things. I got a lot of other topics to touch on as well. Oh, yeah. President Trump has people that are purging the never-Trumpers from the administration. We're going to share that story and talk about it, which is spectacular. Since President Trump was acquitted in the sham impeachment trial, he's a new president. He's got his next 100 days, and he has really been doing everything that needs to be done since he was acquitted in the Senate trial. And this purge of the never-Trumpers from the administration, is spectacular. So we'll talk about that and a whole bunch more. Your calls are also welcome at 1-888-GO-KANE1. That's Kane with a K, K-A-N-E, 888-465-2631. You know, the Democrats, they're patting themselves on the back yesterday because, you know, they're going into South Carolina. Black vote, very important in South Carolina. And I was just reading in The Hill this morning, the House of Representatives passes historic legislation to make lynching a federal hate crime. And this is the story. The House on Wednesday, yesterday, overwhelmingly passed historic legislation that would classify lynching as a federal hate crime. The Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act, which was passed on a 410-4 vote, was introduced by Bobby Rush, Democrat of Illinois. It's named after Emmett Till, who was lynched in 1955 in Mississippi. And boom. Okay, now there's a lot of things here. You know, Emmett Till, very famous story. He's the one, the story goes that he was lynched because he whistled at a white woman. And there's all kinds of variations on what led up to the lynching. Many different accounts. We don't have a definitive account of Emmett Till. But you know what? The Democrats, what they're not telling you here is Emmett Till, 14-year-old boy, was lynched in 1955 in the state of Mississippi. That Emmett Till was lynched by Democrats. That's right. Emmett Till was lynched by Democrats. That is a fact. Every black man lynched in America was lynched by a Democrat. And, you know, what they're going into South, they're trying to desperately to win back the black vote. They're losing so much of the black vote to President Trump. This is a complete act of desperation. So they pass, in 2020, they pass anti-lynching legislation. And, you know, back in the, lynchings aren't taking place anymore, unless you consider the Roger Stone jury a lynching of sorts, and I do. The Roger Stone jury was definitely a lynch mob. Lynching doesn't necessarily mean with a noose. Lynching can be all kinds. Lynching is not a specific act. There's all kinds of things that fall under the label lynching. One of them is the noose. One of them is you can tar and feather someone. You can do all kinds of things. Lynching covers a bunch of things. But anyway, oh boy. Anyway, what they're not telling you is that back in the days when people were being lynched, when was the last time someone was lynched like Emmett Till? A long time ago, right? They're not telling you a lot of things. One, they're not telling you that every black man in America who was lynched by a Democrat. That's one thing they don't tell you. Another thing they don't tell you is every black man that was lynched was a Republican. They don't tell you that. And the other thing they don't tell you is that the reason that federal anti-lynching legislation was never passed. You know, when lynchings were going on, even back in the 1930s, there was legislation in the Congress to make lynching a federal hate crime law. And it never passed. Why? Democrats. That's right. Senators went to President Franklin Roosevelt in the 1930s, begging him, because there were a lot of lynchings going on in the 1930s, a lot. Senators went with an anti-lynching bill. They went to President Roosevelt. He refused to support it and said that he would not vote for it. And the reason that the Democrats, Franklin Roosevelt the first, opposed federal anti-lynching legislation was because the people that were doing the lynching were their constituents. And President Roosevelt and other Democrats were afraid of alienating their constituents by passing federal anti-lynching laws. So they can go around and act like they're big heroes for passing federal anti-lynching legislation. Lynchings don't occur anymore, not in the way Emmett Till was lynched. Okay? This legislation is symbolic and a pathetic attempt to try to win some black votes over the weekend in South Carolina. because the Democrats who have taken blacks for granted for so long have lost the support of so many blacks that they expect voter turnout among African Americans in South Carolina and on Tuesday in the other primary states to be low. So they do this symbolic vote without telling you that the Democrats are the reason that federal anti-lynching legislation was never passed back in the days when people were actually being lynched by a noose. So they can pat themselves on the back all day and all night. I think people are smart enough to understand what this is all about. All right, it's 18 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll take our first break of the second hour of today's show. It's Thursday morning. We are here live. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll take a break and be back. Don't go anywhere.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire.
That's right.
That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike.
Exactly,
Friendly
sir.
Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Attention homeowners, this is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. I'm here to cut your electric bill and save you a lot of money. Perhaps even eliminate your electric bill altogether. We do this by making your entire home energy efficient, by upgrading some or all of the following: roofs, doors, windows, insulating your attic, AC systems and ducts, hot water heaters, and even adding solar. Energy efficient improvements that actually pay for themselves over a short period of time. Our program is designed to make the savings on your electric bill pay for all or part of your low monthly payments. The PACE program is government sponsored and gives you up to 30 years to pay. Requires no credit check, no money down, no income verification, and no payments for up to 18 months. You only need to be current on your mortgage and taxes for the last 3 years to qualify. Energy savings and hurricane solutions made easy. Call 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500 to start saving money now.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show, live in Morning Drive on 1460 AM and 95.3 FM.
Oh, yeah. That's right. My Pillow, guaranteed the most comfortable pillow you will ever own. And I got to tell you, go to mypillow.com. Use that promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. Every single special listed at mypillow.com you can take advantage of with the promo code KANE. The most incredible special I think they have is buy one MyPillow, get one for free when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. Save up to 30% on the MyPillow pet beds when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. You can get a MyPillow pet bed for like $20. I have one for my dog and my cats, and they love it. An incredible BOGO offer on the MyPillow Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. Buy one set of sheets, get a second set for free when you use the promo code KANE at checkout. The MyPillow Body Pillow, this is the best deal of all. Normally $89.99. When you use the promo code KANE, you can get it for just $29.99. It's a MyPillow that is the length of the body with that patented fill. And like the other MyPillows, completely machine washable. So listen, support this program by buying a MyPillow product. Buy them for yourself, buy them for your pets, buy them for your friends, buy them for your family. If there's a holiday coming up, a birthday coming up, an anniversary coming up, there is nothing better than a MyPillow product. It is a gift that they will remember year after year. You know, the MyPillows come with a 10-year warranty. When have you heard of a pillow coming with a warranty? And this one comes with one that's 10 years. So go to mypillow.com, click on those radio listener specials. But if you see any other, Sarah in Colorado on the YouTube live chat, she's got her My Pillow Giza Dream sheets. I have those. They are spectacular. Sarah agrees. Use that promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. Every special, no matter what it says, if it says Mike Gallagher special, Sean Hannity special, whatever the special is there, you can take advantage of it with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone. When you order by phone, make sure you spell out KANE, K-A-N-E, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. My Pillow. Support the Steve Kane Show. And order on My Pillow, all right? Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, so Democrats want you to praise them for passing anti-lynching legislation. You know, there's been a complete meltdown of by the media and the left because President Trump is attacking, or not attacking, he's calling out the corrupt jury that convicted Roger Stone. And I consider that to be a lynch mob of a jury. There were 3 jurors in particular, but mostly the jury 4-person, the 4-lady, we find out, not only is a Democrat who had a failed run for Congress, but when Roger Stone was arrested, before she was even called for jury duty, she was celebrating the arrest of Roger Stone on the Twitter. Her verdict was decided. You know, Roger Stone was arrested here in South Florida. We have federal courthouses in South Florida. They moved it to Virginia to lynch Roger Stone. They wanted a jury packed with bureaucrats and Democrats that would find him guilty no matter what. Roger Stone was convicted by a lynch mob. And I'm listening to people in the media, oh, well, President Trump, the sanctity of the jury. Listen, there was a time when juries were convicting innocent black men and acquitting guilty white men. Juries made up of Democrats, by the way, like the Roger Stone jury. The Democrats on juries have a long history of not caring about anything other than an agenda. Whether it's the O.J. Simpson jury, whether it's the Medgar Evers jury, whether it's the jury that convicted Roger Stone. Democrats cannot be trusted on juries. Democrats on juries don't care about evidence, they care about agenda. And President Trump is doing the right thing. He took an oath. The foreman's not the only problem. She's the big problem, but there's other Democrats there. One worked for Obama. Another one had a husband working for the Justice Department. What the hell? It was a lynch mob. And if President Trump didn't speak out about it in the way that he has, well, I don't think he'd be living up to his oath of office. I think by speaking out against this lynch mob Roger Stone jury, and the foreman in particular, that he's upholding his oath. I don't remember the media being outraged when President Obama was attacking those police officers in Boston that arrested Louis Gates when he gave them a hard time, breaking into his own house and everything. Remember, he said the police acted stupidly? I don't remember the media saying, oh, how dare he get involved in an ongoing investigation? Oh, how can he do this? He's interfering with law. They were praising him for being so closely involved. And by the way, they keep saying, well, Roger Stone is a friend of President Trump. You know what? Louis Gates was a personal friend of Barack Obama. So what the hell? That didn't seem to be a conflict. No, I'm proud of President Trump for speaking out against this lynch mob jury against Roger Stone. It needs to be discussed. And it's a story that we shouldn't have found out about post-verdict. All of us should have known about this corrupt jury in the Roger Stone case, but the media sat on it, and by the way, the media all knew. I didn't know. Most of you probably didn't know. The media knew because they keep telling us, oh, this was mentioned in the early days of the jury selection. They all knew it in the media, and they didn't run the story. And, you know, Roger Stone and these others, Papadopoulos, Roger Stone, Michael Cohen, all of the Trump people that are either in jail or going to jail or been and out like Papadopoulos. They knew they couldn't get anything on Trump because he's a squeaky clean Marine. So what they did was go after these other people. None of them, by the way, have been convicted of any crimes that have a damn thing to do with President Trump. But they wanted to get a group of people around the president convicted of things to have a narrative and a visual of corruption. All the president's men, right, Watergate, all the president's men in prison. That's what they were attempting to do there. And Roger Stone, I think what President Trump is doing is waiting to see if the verdict is overturned. And if the verdict is overturned, as it should be, because that was not a jury but a lynch mob, it'll be up to the Justice Department to make a decision whether or not they'll pursue charges and have a second trial. And he's waiting for that to play out. And I think Barr would not have a second trial. There's a good chance of it, at least, and that's what Trump is waiting for. When that process plays out, if he'll make the decision to pardon or not. But I don't believe Roger Stone will do 10 seconds in jail. Harvey Weinstein's done more time already than Roger Stone will do or should do. All right? And if you want to look at charges, it should be into those who were involved in impaneling this jury. What responsibility does an individual have as a juror? You know, do you have a responsibility to report your biases? If you do not report your biases, have you committed a crime? I don't know. But I do know this, that the verdict on that jury was decided before the trial began. And that's why they moved it to Virginia. They wanted to have a jury that was packed with bureaucrats and Democrats that no matter what would convict Roger Stone. That jury in the Roger Stone case was as credible of a jury as the O.J. Simpson jury in the murder trial that acquitted him when they knew he was guilty. But, we were post Rodney King, and they needed to get things, they needed some justice out there, racial justice. They needed to stick it to the man, so they acquitted O.J. Simpson. It's 7:30 in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. Those of you that have been calling, sorry I have not answered the phones. I will answer the phones from this point forward. Our number toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I met a lot of great listeners yesterday at Attorney Barry Siegel's Revocable Living Trust workshop. Man, a lot of good people were there yesterday, and everyone that I met yesterday, it was nice to meet you all. Thanks for coming, and I hope that you've taken advantage of the services of Attorney Barry Siegel. It was nice to meet each and every one of you, and if there's anyone there I didn't get to meet, I'm sorry. We'll see you next time, all right? But I met a lot of listeners yesterday, and it's always nice to meet listeners of the Steve Kane Show. All right. It's 31 minutes after the hour. Again, my name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll take our break and be right back. Don't you go anywhere. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. What's going on here? Uh-oh. What just happened? There we go.
You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great work and the incredible prices at Dr. Gupta's Brighton Dental. Ritchie the bus driver called Steve Kane on the air and told him about his experience at Brighton Dental.
Good morning. I have to talk about Brighton Dental because your sponsor is a miracle worker. I broke my tooth. I fractured it and it went backwards in my mouth.
Oh, my God.
Front top tooth. I put it back into the socket. It felt like it was falling out. I had pain. I couldn't even eat spaghetti. And I was going to a wedding in New York 2 days later. And I said, what am I going to do? And the dentist here wanted to charge me $120 just to look at it and to tell me he couldn't do anything. I went to Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. I traveled 139 miles. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Each way. Okay, the man sat and worked on my tooth for 2 hours, put a pin in it, put it back in place. I could eat anything I want. He said it was temporary. He did such a great job. It feels like permanent. I have no pain. I can eat anything I want now.
Welcome, everyone.
The
Subscribe
fact of
if you're
the
not
matter,
subscribed.
This really was unbelievable. I was getting on the bus to go to the reception, okay, in New York City. He knew I was in New York. The phone rings. Who do you think's on the line?
Dr. Gupta.
Right. He wants to see if everything is going okay and if I'm in any pain. The guy is unbelievably wonderful. I mean, thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to eat. I wouldn't have been able to go. I would have looked like a pumpkin.
Everybody needs a great dentist.
That's
and
for
of
sure.
course, for you Steve Kane listeners, you have one, Dr. Gupta, and he's been over there at Brighton Dental. He takes really good care of you. He's very conscientious. He's, dentistry is an art when you stop and you think about it. And Dr. Gupta certainly is an artist, and we're so pleased to have him with us.
Yeah, I just wanted them to know if you need a dentist, and the guy is so good at what he does, he's so gentle, and I mean, I don't like dentists. This guy is this top shelf, and I'm going down to him to get it permanently put in. But
Well,
right
thank you.
I don't have any pain. I can eat anything I want. It's incredible.
Take Ritchie the bus driver's advice and go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. Call 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices in South Florida, including downtown Fort Lauderdale, Coral Gables, and downtown Miami. 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Search for
We're back. My name is Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. By the way, Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. You heard Ritchie's great experience there, and I know many of you I've heard from as well, other than Ritchie, that have had equally as incredible experiences with Brighton Dental and Dr. Gupta. For Steve Kane listeners, Dr. Gupta offers free exams and free x-rays. Just got to mention the Steve Kane Show. Free exam and free x-rays. And also free second opinion. So if you've been to a dentist and they told you need anything done, something big, something small, Dr. Gupta at no charge will give you a free second opinion if you mention the Steve Kane Radio Show. He's been a listener of the Steve Kane Show longer than I've been a part of the show, since 1983. So you'll find a common bond with Dr. Gupta. Take advantage of the free exam, the free x-rays, or a free second opinion if you need it. His number, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. Hey. Yeah, Ritchie.
About the trial, okay? Now, I got to say this to you. The judge is a political biased Democrat, and he's the one that's going to determine whether there's going to be a new trial or not. And I believe, and I listened to all the analysts, they couldn't understand why she gave him a sentence after the first trial, knowing that she was going to see whether she was going to have a second trial. I think she tried to box the President of the United States in and make him look bad, because they're going to say he already was convicted and he was going to get such and such amount of time, and now a new trial.
Well, no, she's this Obama judge is not going to be the final word. She'll get to make rulings, but she's not going to be the final say. There's an appeals process, and there's an attorney general. So she is not going to be the final say, and she's corrupt, just like her jury.
Exactly, but she's boxing in bars. She's going to try to make him look bad. Well, I'm going to make the decision, but it's giving food to the Democrats.
Everything gives food. I mean, look at these idiots yesterday. Nancy Pelosi said it's too late to do it's too late to do anything about the coronavirus. All right, so we're all going to be infected, Nancy Pelosi? By the way, what the hell was she chewing in her mouth when she was talking to the press yesterday? Gum? What is that? Nicorette?
You know, Brian, they have tried to make this president look incompetent, and they failed. The country is freaking booming, and they have totally failed, and they continue to try. This guy could cure this disease, and by tomorrow, the president, and they'll say it's his fault that we're curing it. They're terrible, and as for jurors, when you got about 25% of the population that votes that are communists in this country now, I don't know what to say anymore.
All right, well, I know you got to, something's wrong with your phone, Richie. It's not your normal phone you're on.
Oh, in my car, I park with the dog.
And, oh, hey, listen, when you take your dog to the park, do you pick up the poop with one of those dog park bags?
I have my own bags that I get from Chewy.com.
Really? You pick up the poop? I'm not into picking up the poop of the dogs.
I don't want to keep getting any of that, stepping in or anything like that. I pick it up.
I don't pick it up. I don't pick it up. All right, take care. And, at the dog park, any of you guys go to dog park? I don't go too much anymore because, we have 4 dog parks in my neighborhood. 4 dog parks. Can you believe that? 4 damn dog parks. They got dog parks for the teacups, the little dogs, the medium dogs, and the big dogs. And I find that the dog park crowd are very strange people. And there's this one woman that anytime anyone's dog goes to the bathroom, all right, if they don't immediately pick it up, no matter where she is, she will run from one side of the dog park to the other. She yells at you. She points her finger. It's kind of like, remember Donald Sutherland's Invasion of the Body Snatchers, when the Body Snatchers would point to you and go, ah! That's what this lady does. I find dog park people very strange people. And when did this thing of picking up the dog do? It's biodegradable. I don't get that, Did you? When I was a kid, we never picked up the dog do. You go to the dog park, they freak out if you don't. Yeah, I know. Anyway, I know. That's just me. I'm just not into picking it up. I think it's very strange. They have those bags you use. You put your hand in them inside out. You reach down, you pick it up, you pull it out. And then you put it in the thing. I've done it, but it's not something I commonly do. And I think part of the reason is just to spite these lunatics that go to the dog park every day and hang out like a bunch of weirdos. That's just me. And I'm very surprised that Ritchie, the bus driver, picks up the dog too. Aren't you guys surprised at that? I'm surprised at that. I am. Oh my gosh. Yeah, whatever. I don't go to the dog park anymore. Mainly because of that. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The liberals are involved in every aspect of our society, right? Anyway, back to the things that are important. So President Trump, since President Trump's acquittal, he's just on a tear. And there's a great story. Let me find this story. This is in the Daily Mail. Listen to this. Meet Donald Trump's 23-year-old enforcer, a college senior recruited to help purge never-Trumpers from key positions. His boss, age 29, was fired for his gambling habit, they say. Listen to this. Donald Trump's administration has recruited a college senior to help the president's rehired ex-body man lead a purge of anti-Trump government officials, the Never-Trumper Purge. Politico reported Tuesday that 23-year-old James Bacon, that's a great name to have, like Kevin Bacon, James Bacon, has become the right-hand man to John McEntee, who the president put in charge of the Presidential Personnel Office. He's 29. He was fired from the White House in March 2018 after he couldn't get a security clearance due to an alleged gambling problem. He was rehired and is leading a purge of never-Trump government officials, according to Axios. This is awesome. The liberal college seniors are out there whining, how about me? I got to pay my bills. You got to pay off my debt. Our college guys are out there working and doing good work, too. This story I'm reading, this is in the Daily Mail. Bacon joins McEntee after having a long list of Trump-related jobs. Goes into that. Bacon's role will be that of the Director of Operations to the Personnel Office, where he will work on vetting of job candidates. Axios reported that McEntee had a meeting of White House liaisons from cabinet agencies and asked them to identify potential never-Trumpers who could be purged from the U.S. government. 3 sources familiar with the Thursday meeting described to Axios what happened, including that McEntee suggested that some of the firings of bad people in deep state would have to take place after the election in November. McEntee also explained how those individuals could be sabotaged in the meantime, saying at the meeting that employees deemed as anti-Trump would be shifted around, denying them promotions. This is, and I know the left are very upset with this. I heard one person yesterday say, oh, this is what they do in banana republics. If you are working for the administration of a president, whoever that president is, and you are working against them, should you be working in that administration? I would say no. If you're working for someone and you're trying to undermine them, you cannot effectively do your job. And you should not be there. So while this is technically a purge of never-Trumpers, yes, it's appropriate. I mean, the never-Trumpers are how the impeachment came to be. And we're finding out Bloomberg, who bought members of Congress, according to him, what's Bloomberg's role in getting Trump impeached? He says he got how many? How many congressmen did he buy? 20-some congressmen? Of the 41 new ones, he bought them? That's how they got the impeachment vote through? But Trump's the corrupt one. If you have a workplace, a company, right? And there are people inside your company that are working against the leader of your company, can they do their job effectively? I would say no. And they should be gone, right? Why is that even? It's so interesting what's controversial, right? And this is certainly, to me, not even a controversy. It's great. Keep the purge going. Let's get rid of those never-Trumpers. We don't need any of them around. All right, let's take our last break of the second hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. And this is also the most pro-Donald Trump radio show anywhere. That's right. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Let's take our last break of this hour and be right back.
Does your life insurance policy only pay someone if you die? The new life insurance policies allow you to access your benefits even while you are still alive. Due to changes in the insurance industry, all life insurance carriers in 2020 have adjusted their premiums to your advantage. Life insurance rates have been lowered due to the updated mortality tables. People are living longer in America, and that means life insurance premiums are lower. Call Debbie and Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080 to learn more and for a free review of your existing life insurance policy. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact, mom and dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help.
Make sure you subscribe, guys.
If your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend Sal at The Edge Recovery, 561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325. If your loved one refuses treatment, The Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option, from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, The Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at The Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone. 561-523-4325.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeart.
All right, welcome back. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. That's right. You know, I was over at Friendly Tire a couple days ago. Just stopped in to say hi to Friendly Mike and the crew over there. And there was a tow truck bringing a car of a gentleman into Friendly Tire. And I never had seen a tow truck bring a car to Friendly Tire before. So I was a little interested in what was going on. And what I found out was this. That very wise driver of this car, that the tire prices are so low at Friendly Tire that even with the charge that he had to pay the tow truck driver to bring his car there, he was still saving tons of money on new tires because the tire prices, both new and used, at Friendly Tire just cannot be beat. Is that absolutely amazing? It is, isn't it? And I run in pretty much every time I'm over at Friendly Tire, I'll run into a listener or two or three. You know, sometimes I'll run into someone who has been sent in by a listener, friend, and family. It's Friendly Tire. I've been a customer there for over a decade because the prices are so good. My daughter Emily's car, the cheapest price on new tires for her car I could find, $135. Friendly Mike's Tire, brand new tires, out the door and on the road because he doesn't charge you to balance or mount the tire or disposal of the old tires, just $65 a tire. That's a $70 savings per tire. That's absolutely amazing. You know, Steve took his daughter in there. She was in town from Orlando. She needed tires. Steve took his daughter over there with her car to buy 4 new tires. Mike came out, looked at the tires to get the size and said, you don't need 4 new tires. You just need 2. Can you imagine going to one of these big tire shops and saying, I want 4 new tires, and they look and say, no, you just need 2. Friendly Mike will never sell you new tires that you don't need. I've never heard of such honesty and integrity as you find with Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. My wife's car, the cheapest price I could find on new tires for her car, $165 a tire. Friendly Mike's out the door and on the road price, brand new tires, $75 a tire. That's $90 savings per tire. Steve's van, the lowest price we could find around town, $175 a tire. Friendly Tire's price, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. He has thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30, and also does tire repairs starting at just $7. You heard me right, starting at just $7 for tire repairs. That's right. These other places around town will not do tire repairs. Give Friendly Mike a call. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Or stop right in. His address is 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate. 15th Street is just north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. And his website, friendlytire.net. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning. You are on the radio.
Good morning, Brian.
Ugh.
Conservative from a liberal dog walker. Person, walking a dog, and how can you spot a conservative?
I'm waiting for your punchline.
The conservative, the person who's a conservative, is not going to clean up the dog's poop because he expects the world and this country to clean up their mess.
Uh-huh. Well, now, first of all, my dog goes in my backyard, which is my own private area. But you're telling me that the best you got on me is that I do not like to pick up poop? Why, do you enjoy picking up poop? Do you like picking up poop, Al? I mean, think about this. The best you've got on me is I don't like to pick up poop. And is that some type of problem with, and from your viewpoint, is that a morality issue with me? Do I have am I immoral because I don't like to pick up poop?
Well, getting on to your...
No, I want to know what, I said that I don't like to pick up poop, okay? And you said that's what a conservative is all about. What does that say about me that I don't like to pick up feces off the ground?
Nothing.
Well, then why do you bring it up? What point were you trying to make? Do you enjoy picking up feces? Is that like your kink? Is that something you like? I don't enjoy it. Okay, so you agree with me. You don't like doing it either. And how can you put some immoral shade on me when you and your friends support abortion on demand?
You got me confused with somebody else.
You don't support abortion? You're pro-life?
No, I don't like the third trimester.
What is worse? What is worse? Not picking poop off the ground from a dog in the grass, or victimizing a woman who has been forced into prostitution. Which is worse? Steve Kane Show.
I don't have an answer to that because it's the
Yeah, well, the audience does. All right, good morning. You're on the radio. Good morning. You're on the radio. Yeah, you're on the radio. Oh, hey, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Hey, Scott, how's it going? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. We caught each other off guard this morning. You're on the air, and Scott, he wants to tell you how he can save money on your electric bill.
All right, Brian. Well, you know,
Steve
it's
Kane
another
Show.
cool day in this short Florida winter
on.
we have. And while it's cool like this, we can get up in your attic and do our work and turn the energy of the sun off and put your house in the shade all summer long, all year round, and literally make your air conditioning run half the time. And right now you can do that for $1 per square foot on your house. And it's never cheaper than now.
Yeah, you know, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. You know, a lot of people, because I know it's a little chilly this morning, and you know, and the heat of summer is coming up. It's coming up quick, and I know a lot of people are thinking that they may need a new air conditioning unit. Maybe you do, but you know what? Maybe you don't. Maybe your attic is so hot during the summer months that your air conditioner is not able to cool to the efficient level you would like it to because of that heat in the attic. Call Scott at Cut My Kilowatts. Have him do an inspection of your home, and let him tell you how he can save you money on your electric bill when those hot summer months come around. And, you know, those hot summer months, the reason it's so much cheaper to do this now is basically the labor cost, because I was talking yesterday, the attic in the summertime can get over 130 degrees, and workers can only work in your attic for a few moments, literally, at a time. Right now, with this kind of weather, they can work up there quickly and get the work done fast, and it cuts the labor cost way down if you get this work done now. Call Scott at Cut My Kilowatts. This number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. All right, Scott, take care, and we'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Oh, Al, no, I hung up on you. The call was discontinued. I was done talking to you. It's one call per day. And it should be like one call per month for you, if even that much. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. And he tricked his way back on the phones there somehow, because I did answer that call, thinking it might be him, and it was not his voice when I answered the phone. I'd like people to know that. Oh, boy, I tell you. Sorry. You blew your opportunity with the dog stuff there in the beginning. I got tired of that one real quick. Coming up in the next hour, I'll get into some of my audio sound bites. We got a lot more to talk about. I'm so happy. You know, yesterday when I saw our president come out and show how in charge and how command he is with this coronavirus scare. I mean, did you guys not feel better after hearing the president speak? This is not a problem. Trump not only is in complete control, he has the leading experts in America, which are the leading experts in the world, handling everything. Most of these people that have it are the ones that they let back in the country that they shouldn't have let back in for some time until they were completely clear. Only one of them is severely ill, and we don't know anything else about their other background. I'm not concerned at all. And you know what? I don't think most of you are either. And, you know, the liberal media who says that many Trump supporters are not taking this as a serious enough threat because we don't trust the media, absolutely. And the question is, why do we not trust the media? The media is wrong on everything. Any opportunity they have that they can try to make Trump look bad, they're going to jump on it. And the way the stock market has been going down this week, you don't think that makes the media and the Democrats happy? Think, oh, we finally got. Please. Now, I'm not some financial expert. I'm not Stuart Varney on Fox Business or anything. But I would say the main reason that there's been a bit of a dip is because it is either becoming more difficult or it will become more difficult to get some of the goods from China that we normally get because of this. Okay? And I do agree with President Trump that hearing what a wreck they have in the Democrat Party running for president after that debate does have some impact. But I think it's mostly worrying about the flow of goods from China. You know? And, you know, Trump's under control. What I would suggest to do is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to watch the news on this corona. I believe the news are wanting you to feel panicked. They want you to feel panicked. They want you to question Trump. They want you scared. There is nothing to be frightened of. And Trump made that quite clear. Were you not shocked at how many people died from the common flu? My goodness. My goodness. I can't believe how many people died from the flu. All right. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. 1 hour to go. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Indeed. We'll take our break and be right back.
100.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the Sole Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the Sole Authority today, 954-597-7060.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
You've heard the jingle and seen the commercials, and that's right. You will get the best night's sleep you've ever had with a MyPillow. Have you not gotten your MyPillow yet? Right now is the best time to do it.
That's right, Brian. Hey guys, this is Brian's wife, Kathy, and this is the best time to get a MyPillow. They have amazing deals. Take advantage of them now.
Go to mypillow.com, click the radio listener link, and you will see all these great deals. Like the buy one,
That's right. That's what I do.
One for free. There's a BOGO offer right now on the Giza Dream Sheets. Buy 1 set of MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets and get the second set free.
You gotta love BOGO deals. They're the best. And you can take advantage of so many right now at mypillow.com.
There's a lot of other deals too. Again, go to mypillow.com, click on that radio listener link, and you've got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout to get these incredible deals. So go right now to mypillow.com, click the radio listener special. Make sure to use that promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout to take advantage of all of the great deals. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. Make sure to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, 1-800-716-4879.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Does your life insurance policy only pay someone if you die? The new life insurance policies allow you to access your benefits even while you are still alive. Due to changes in the insurance industry, all life insurance carriers in 2020 have adjusted their premiums to your advantage. Life insurance rates have been lowered due to the updated mortality tables. People are living longer in America, and that means life insurance premiums are lower. Call Debbie and Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080 to learn more more and for a free review of your existing life insurance policy. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices in South Florida, including downtown Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, but they're not as good as I am,
and
Imbert.
downtown Miami.
I'm the best.
1-855-FLA 3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Yes, yes. The third and final hour has begun. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Welcome back, one and all. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. This is the most pro-Donald Trump radio show in America. You will never hear me criticize Donald Trump, ever. Not that he's done anything that I believe needs to be criticized, that I'm keeping secret, but you'll never hear me criticize Trump. I love Trump, and I'm not embarrassed nor ashamed. I don't have to disagree with him every other Tuesday to try to establish credibility. All right, now, Kristen Powers, she used to be on Fox. Now she's on CNN. You know, I thought she was going to come on to the right side of things when she became a Christian a few years ago, but she's still a Democrat. She had a column in the USA Today, Face Facts. Bernie Sanders is electable. Right, Bernie Sanders is electable. Oh, my goodness. He might be winning these primaries. I think he's probably going to win South Carolina, at least come in second, if he doesn't come in first. But Kristen Powers, so listen to this. She's talking about Bernie Sanders versus Trump. Kristen Powers yesterday.
That's kind of crazy. I mean, truly. I look at
Steve Kane Show.
The idea that Bernie Sanders is some mirror image of Donald Trump's in terms of his lack of civility. I mean, does Bernie Sanders attack war heroes? Does Bernie Sanders attack parents of war heroes?
Okay. Does Bernie Sanders attack war heroes? That's a reference to John McCain. Is a prisoner of war a war hero? Or was he a bad pilot that got shot down, just like he crashed on the aircraft carrier, John McCain? Which is it? Is that a war hero or not? To me, a war hero is someone who sacrifices themselves or risks themselves for others. Not someone who's a bad pilot that crashes on aircraft carriers and gets themselves shot down. That alone does not make you a war hero, in my opinion. And once you enter the world of politics, like John McCain did, then you can be criticized. You're putting yourself out there. You just can't say, well, I'm a POW. You can never criticize me. Are you kidding? And they say war hero. Rudy Giuliani is a war hero. War hero on 9/11, he went to the front lines of the war, ground zero, and took charge. Rudy Giuliani, the only person who was a government official. I know he wasn't federal, but hey, mayor of New York City is a pretty big deal. More important than being a governor of most any place. Rudy Giuliani is a war hero, and there's hardly a day that goes by that Democrats and the liberal media are not attacking him. And by the way, he didn't screw up and get captured. There was an attack going on. He went to the front line and took charge. So Kristen Powers, does that mean that Rudy Giuliani cannot be attacked since he's a war hero? I may be the only one that calls him a war hero, but I think if you think about it, I think most would agree. All right. You're on the radio. Good morning.
McCain, he reminds me of Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc, okay.
Reverse.
Yeah.
Reverse. Joan of Arc, they made her recant saying that she had this vision to lead the French.
Yes.
Finally, she said, no, it's true. You can burn me at the stake. And they did. But McCain was the opposite. He stayed in that prison for a long time, and then finally he went against our country. He said we're the enemy and so on. So,
yes. No, he was not a good guy, and that's the way of it. All right, thanks for the call. All right, good morning. You are on the radio.
Good morning, to you, Brian. I want to talk about the shooting yesterday in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I want to make a prediction. Let's see how good I am. I'm going to predict that the shooter is black.
Wait, slow down. You're on this bad phone again, so it's hard to understand you. You predict that the shooter is what? Hold on. The shooter, you're predicting what about the shooter?
Is black. The shooter black.
Black?
The victims are, yeah. And the victims are white.
Well, you know, I read the stories on it, and I didn't even bother to try to get the identity of the shooter who killed himself. Have they released the identity yet? I haven't seen it.
They haven't released the identity of the shooter or the victim.
Yeah, and at this point, since the victim committed suicide, there's no reason at this point to protect their identity. So, okay, so you're predicting that the Milwaukee shooting is racially motivated. What about the racial makeup do you think would have been the motivating factor to do it?
I'm from Milwaukee. That's my hometown. We have a problem with African Americans in Milwaukee because what we have is a lot of dirtbags moving up from Chicago and Indiana to get the better welfare benefits that we get more generous welfare benefits. So we get all the dirtbags from Chicago and Indiana.
Well, this guy worked at the plant. The shooter worked at the plant. From what I understand, unless that's not been firmed up yet. So that's not, okay, all right. So, but they were fired, is my understanding.
And if I'm wrong, I'll call to apologize.
That's okay. That's nothing to apologize for. Whenever they don't, when there's an incident like that, and they hide the identity of the shooter, the media know who the shooter is, and they always hide it for a reason. Like, for example, when Fort Hood happened, it took them hours and hours to identify Major Nadal Hassan, and the longer it went on, I knew that it was an Islamic terror attack because they went so long without telling us at Fort Hood. So when they don't tell you the identity of shooters in these instances, remember the Boston bombing, how excited the media were when they got the surveillance sidewalk video and they thought that the bombers in Boston were white guys, and they got so excited. Remember they had the sidewalk camera footage of them? I've never seen the media so excited after a terrorist attack before. All right, take care so we may hear back. Okay, so that's Rick the Deficit Hawk. What I wonder about his prediction, he's predicting, and this is the thing about him. I should have thought about this before I let him go. I didn't think about it until after I hung up on him. But you know what I'm wondering with Rick? Rick's a all right caller. We had him here in the studio once, many years ago. Oh boy, what a mistake that was. But anyway, I'm wondering, he is from Milwaukee. He's a snowbird. He comes down to Florida during the winter months. What I'm wondering with Rick is this. Does he have some knowledge from media or sources that are local in Milwaukee that the shooter is black, even though we haven't seen it in the national media yet, and the victims are white? And he called in with that, pretending like he was making a prediction of something he already knows for a fact from friends and locals in Milwaukee so that he can call back in and try to have credibility with you and the listening audience. What do you think? I think it's more likely that he knows from Milwaukee contacts, since that's where he lives, the identity of the shooter and the victims, or at least the racial makeup. And he's calling in to try to look like he's credible as a person and as a caller. That's what I think. Rick the Deficit Hawk, who's a very strange cat. If you guys who have listened over the years have heard his calls to the show. We've got a collection, people, all right? We got a collection of winners out there in the listening audience. We'll find out. I think if the shooter is black and the victims are white, I think Rick the Deficit Hawk already knows. He got tipped off. He is a good caller. I've kept his calls short lately. He's, like I say, he's a snowbird. He's only down here during the winter months, so we don't hear from him all year. But I've kept his calls short because the cell phone he is on is so poor, it's hard for me to even understand him. And I got, my headphone in my right ear here, and I can hardly understand him. And I've been keeping his calls short because of that. But if he had a clearer phone we would have more detailed conversation with him because he is fun to have conversation with. So Nancy Pelosi, this coronavirus, here President Trump, such a big difference between President Trump and the madam of the House of Representatives. They call her Madam Speaker, right? So she's a madam. But Nancy Pelosi, what she did yesterday was the complete opposite of what President Trump did. President Trump, he came out surrounded by experts. And, President Trump, if you notice, President Trump is so smart. I mean, he knows, what he knows is about marketing and communication like no one else. He has this 6:30 p.m. press conference, and he came out a little late, right? Why do you think he came out late? He came out late on purpose. Was it because he's disrespectful to us who were sitting in front of our televisions and everything? No. He had the podium surrounded by these top experts from Health and Human Resources and the CDC. He had all these top experts up there on the stage around the presidential podium, standing there on the live feeds on television. And what that was about was the media, they had time to waste here, they had time to kill. So the media, while they're standing out there, start identifying these people and telling the viewers who they are. So by the time President Trump had come out there, the media, they didn't realize they were doing this, the media, because they're stupid, But they already started to calm down the American people by telling the American people who these leading experts were up there on the stage, like that woman who's been with CDC for 30 years, the doctor, okay? And then he comes out, and President Trump did what? He put Corona in perspective, made us feel safe, let us know that he was in charge, let us know that this is just a minor little thing, calmed the public, reassured the public. And what does Nancy Pelosi do? Nancy Pelosi comes out chewing gum or something. Like I said, I don't know if it was Nicorette or bubble gum. Nancy Pelosi comes out and does the complete opposite of President Trump, which is attempt to cause a national panic over the coronavirus. Here's Pelosi.
Well, we have
Steve Kane Show.
We'll have something similar, which
Hold on.
addresses the need for the professionals to be in place. The president let go a couple of years ago, never replaced them. This is shameful. That puts forth a proposal now that is meager, anemic in terms of addressing as well. With Ebola, we did $5 billion. Now they're trying to take the Ebola money and spend it here. So what he's doing is late.
It's late, too late. It should go, I went over, let me go back a little bit.
Is late, too late.
Okay, so here's what Pelosi did. So here's President Trump surrounded by the leaders involved in such things in our government, top doctor from the Centers for Disease Control, calms the public, reassures the public, let us know that everything is... Nancy Pelosi comes out and causes a panic. All the top experts are no longer in the government, and it's too late to do anything. He waited too long, it's too late. And the top people that to handle Corona can't do it. We're done. Nancy Pelosi's out there causing a panic. What an irresponsible and you can see the lips are quivering again. She hates Trump so much. What an irresponsible federal official. It's too late. He waited too long. He got rid of all the top experts 2 years ago and never replaced them. We have no one in the government that knows how to deal with this, and it's too late. Oh, my goodness. If she were a credible person, she would have caused a panic, but she's no longer considered a credible person. How irresponsible of Pelosi. Good morning. You're on the radio. Steve Kane Show. All right, Steve. Hey, Barry. Yeah, Mike and Boca, you're on the air. What's on your mind, man?
Yes, Nancy. She's a hypocrite. About 2 or 3 days ago, San Francisco was implementing for the coronavirus, and yet her San Francisco is a cesspool.
Well, you're right. I read this morning, the media, they're getting all excited. You know, California is where the newly infected are coming from, her state.
They had the homeless problem. They already had a typhoid problem. They didn't do anything about the typhoid problem. And now they're going to try and do something about.
Well, I mean, Mike, would you agree with me that here you have the president who's trying to calm the public, surrounded by leading experts, reassure the public, and then Nancy Pelosi comes out and says, it's too late. President waited too long. He fired all the top experts 2 years ago, never replaced them. There's nobody in government that can deal with this, and it's too late. That sounds like a panic.
Well, everything she said was a lie. He back in December, he started with travel bans, and he did what he could do. He did his best. Whatever he's going to do, they're going to hate him. That's just the way it is.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. You're right on the money. All right, Mike and Boca, I appreciate the call, but I got to run, but thanks for the call. Mike and Boca with some interesting insights on things. You know, yesterday, I met a lot of great listeners at Attorney Barry Siegel's Revocable Living Trust Workshop. Steve told me he was at the 10 o'clock Medicaid Planning Workshop, and he met quite a few listeners over there as well. And it was an incredible workshop with a full house. At that 2 o'clock workshop, it was, I didn't even have a place to sit. I gave my chair up to a nice lady, which I'm very happy to do. Don't worry, I've done that before. I'll do it again. And just such great information given by Attorney Barry Siegel in his workshops yesterday. Hey, Barry, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Great. You know, I tell you, those workshops, an incredible success yesterday, and people are getting all of this great information from you and your staff.
We had, especially at the afternoon one, we had to have a bunch of staff over there, and it was a great success. And thank you to you and Steve for spreading the word and letting people. You never know when it's too late, and some very simple planning can make a huge difference between protecting everything and potentially losing it all if you don't set things up.
That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. And, you know, one thing I notice about your workshops that really amazes me with people, you give people a little, like a pad of paper and a pen. People take notes like they're in a college lecture when you're doing these workshops because they're hearing things that they've never heard before. You know, people do a Google search and they think they got the law degree and the expertise, and people are amazed when you break down how you organize a revocable living trust. And I got to tell you, you go through every possible scenario that could happen in any possible situation. It's amazing.
Well, I'm flattered that you thought so highly of it, and I appreciate that. I mean, what we try to do is give some real, genuine information that people can take away, whether they decide to do anything with it. And of course, that's the goal is that they they get that information, and then they are able to use it in their lives and better their lives and their families' lives. And hopefully they'll do that planning with us. But if we help people make decisions that will help them protect themselves and their loved ones, and we did our job.
You know, over your career here in South Florida, how many clients would you estimate that you have helped with estate planning?
Tough one, Brian.
Thousands, I would imagine. Yeah, and you know, that's why I mean you have encountered every possible scenario a family could deal with, and you know, and one thing Attorney Barry Siegel offers, which is absolutely amazing. You know, I'm an executor of several trusts. I mean, I don't know why I'm a trustworthy guy, but I've always been a little nervous about, well, what happens, because none of these people have passed yet. And what Attorney Barry Siegel does, which I've never heard of anyone doing before Barry Siegel, is when you pass, whoever you have put in charge of your affairs, Attorney Barry Siegel, you have a free consultation with that person so that you can explain to them what to do?
Well, yeah, we do a couple of things. One of the things, and folks who attended the workshop got this with their materials. It was a checklist of actions to take upon incapacity or death for the trustee, representative, and so on, so that they know exactly what to do. Most people who are nominated as a trustee or a personal representative have never done it before, and they don't know what to do. So, number one, we do give them a checklist, and number two, we do offer a free post-death consultation so that that trustee or personal representative will be able to either meet with us face-to-face, or if they can't, over the phone, and then we can answer their questions and guide them and let them know what they need.
You know, and I got to tell you, that's important because, you know, at home, I've got these trust of people, and these trust documents, depending on who it is, there's a lot of things that got to be done sometimes, and I'm a layman. I don't know what to do, but Barry and his staff do. And so I'm no longer worried, Barry. Listen, give attorney Barry Siegel a call. And by the way, we got to talk in more detail in the future about the Medicaid planning, because that is so important. His office number is 1-855-FLA-3782. 1-855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Barry Siegel, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, you too. Take care. Take care. Yes. Yeah, I'm telling you. That post-death consultation is key, because you've got the trust, and then the person passes. What do you do? I don't know. Well, I know. I'm going to call Barry Siegel's office. Oh, boy. All right, welcome back, everyone. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so Nancy Pelosi. Now, this is, I would say, Nancy, you know, you got the president calming people, assuring people everything's under control. I'm here. I'm surrounded by the top experts. Here's the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Here is the expert doctor with 30 years experience from the Centers for Disease Control. We've got everything under control. We're handling the influx of people that have been returned, that are coming. We're doing everything. We're doing everything. Nancy comes out. It's too late. All the experts were fired years ago by Trump, never replaced. There's no one there that knows what they're doing. It can't be done. You know, and that is you know what, I'll tell you what that attitude reminded me of? Nancy Pelosi in that clip I played for you. It reminded me of Hillary in that hearing when she said, "What difference does it make?" Right? You know, what difference does it make? And if you notice that, I hate to get, it's terrible that something like this becomes partisan, because there should be certain things that unite us together as a people, but the Democrats and the media are so bitter, they hate Trump so much, nothing will unite them. You know, that's how much they hate him. What are they talking about? They're talking about, what, $5 billion, and he only asked for millions. You know, what the Democrats are doing, you know what the Democrats are doing? They're trying to figure out how to pay off all their donors with some big government expenditure for, you know, to them, coronavirus, to the Democrats, is about, one, trying to harm Trump, trying to harm the economy, so that harms Trump, and then getting as much money as you can get from the government so you can send it out to your donors. That's why they're pushing for, it's all about money with them. Because that's how the donors get paid. It's a big money laundering, legal money laundering is what the earmarks are. Good morning, you're on the radio. Yes, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Calling from Coral Springs.
Oh.
I'm totally a Trump supporter. And
I feel a butt coming. Do you guys feel a butt coming?
I work in a preschool. And last week, this little boy from China was brought into our school. And I'm not freaking out. Obviously, I'm working, you know, but I have no idea where he came from in China. He doesn't speak any English. The parents are really, really, really nice people. but it's an interesting hunt.
Well, if you heard, Nancy Pelosi, President Trump shutting down some border crossings and things like this, and the Democrats are trying to keep all the borders open. In these other countries, south of the border, Asia, they don't have all the inoculations that we get starting when we're babies. And the inoculations, you have to start them when you're young. It takes years for some of them to go into effect. And this uncontrolled immigration, that's why in certain areas, in sanctuary cities, there's been outbreaks of measles and chickenpox, which we've pretty much eradicated in America. So, you should be concerned when a child who's just off like that TV show is fresh off the boat, and that they haven't gotten the inoculations that American children get. Definitely you should be concerned. Absolutely. But I got to tell you, don't be worried about Corona, but but I don't know if that kid has had shots for measles and chickenpox. You don't know.
If he's exposed, I don't know, but I'm here, so.
When I moved to Florida and started school in Florida when I was in 5th grade, and I did my other, before that I'm from Ohio. And before I could start school, I had to show proof of all my immunizations going way back from Ohio. And now, with what Democrats have done with the undocumented and the dreamers and all this nonsense, I don't know what percentage of the student bodies in some of our cities, especially here in South Florida, haven't had any inoculations for anything. Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah. I tell you what, though, I bet that Chinese kid is the best person at the long division in your preschool. He doesn't speak English?
No.
Oh.
He's never been in preschool. He doesn't know how to. It's really sad because Spanish and Portuguese, and now they're bringing. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I do too. All right, appreciate the call. Thanks so much. All right. Oh boy, yeah. Oh man, she feels bad. Yeah, that's tough. Well, you know what? He'll learn quick. My daughter, when she was in kindergarten, she had a girl in her class from China who didn't speak any English, just Chinese in kindergarten. And she went all the way through high school with my daughter, and she quickly picked up on English and spoke it with an American accent, and she learned it like that. Don't worry about the Chinese kids. The Chinese kids, I got to tell you, I remember when I was in school, even the Chinese kids are the smartest kids of all. There was this one girl I went to elementary school with. I remember her because she had such a unique name. She's probably, running the Centers for Disease Control now or something. Her name was Po Man Chu, P-O-Man, and her last name was Chu. And we were in 2nd or 3rd grade, and she was like doing algebra, and I was just kind of like learning to add and subtract. And she didn't speak that much English. And I remember I went to school with her for 3 different years. By the 2nd year, she was speaking English like I'm speaking it, Yeah, Po Man Chu. I'm sure she's rich and famous now. It's true. It's true. Good morning. Oh, no. Not good morning to that person. Oh, it's time for the show's flying by. It's 8:30 in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Dr. Matez, we talk about charisma. Hormone replacement pellet therapy brings back a lot of things in people, and one of the things I think it brings back is charisma, because I've met many listeners that are patients of Dr. Matez that I've met before they were patients of Dr. Matez, and I notice a big difference. And one thing I notice is a lot of confidence in guys after they start hormone replacement pellet therapy.
I agree with you 100%, Brett.
Yeah,
Get your mojo back. It's really
It changes your life. It changes the way you view the world. You know how I put it once? This was years and years ago. looking at the world after having the hormone therapy, and you look at the world, and the world is like a Technicolor, and when you give up the hormone therapy, it's like watching the world in black and white. It's just an amazing difference. Like
That's a fantastic analogy.
Isn't it?
It is.
It's true. That's a big difference.
It is. As we get older, we both physically and mentally break down, and we tend to get into a very black and white type of existence, a lot of people. Everybody's different. But when you get your hormone levels back and you get that vigor back, you feel good.
Yes.
Suddenly things are very bright and colorful.
And I experience this myself, and I see it on listeners.
I had to take someone to the ER at 3 a.m.
And then I'll see him after he has become a patient of yours.
That's why I was a little late today.
Replacement pellet therapy. He seems like he's standing up strong, confident, 10 feet tall. What is it about hormone replacement pellet therapy that does that to guys?
I believe it's because you're putting God's nectar back into the body, basically. God gave us testosterone.
Everyone's okay, yeah.
Everyone's
Everyone's
to give
okay.
Us energy and strength and endurance and muscle mass. It's what makes not just men. It's what makes people. And a lack of it takes all of those things away from you.
So we'll meet with Steve Kane listeners at no charge?
Always.
What is the number they can call to make that appointment?
561-953-5490. 561-953-5490.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car.
Good morning, Judy.
$135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly
Subscribe
Tire,
if you're not subscribed.
$65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate.
There's Ian, our travel agent from Cruise and Travel Depot. He organizes our cruises. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're not subscribed.
With attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs.
Best drivers are
Call the
Ukrainians.
Siegel Law Group with 9 offices in South Florida, including downtown Fort Lauderdale, Coral Gables, and downtown Miami. 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeart.
Yes. Welcome back. That's right. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. So I was reading this article this morning in BuzzFeed. Any of you guys read BuzzFeed? It's pretty left wing, but I read BuzzFeed sometimes. And they have this article. I think it's kind of funny. I thought I'd go through it with you. Here's what teens from across the country thought of the South Carolina mess. Now, for the most part, I don't care what teenagers think about anything. I used to care, right? There used to be youth panels and things like this, and I used to care what kids think and teenagers think when I was a teenager. Now I don't give a damn. Do any of you care what teenagers think? What do they know? They know nothing, right? They have no experience. They pay for nothing, And they, so who cares about youth panels and teen groups? But I thought this was, but let's find out what the teens think of. Let's find out what the teens think of the South Carolina Democrat debate. Let me go through them. Okay, here we've got one, 19-year-old Malavika from Stanford. This is her take on the debate. Now, keep in mind, she's 19 in Stanford, so she's living off of scholarships and student loans. She says here, the debate put us in the surreal position of watching 7 white candidates grapple, collide, and dance around the issue of race. So that's what she sees? 7 white candidates, 7 white people? Sounds like she's racially stereotyping people. While the Democratic victor is guaranteed to be white, the losers of this debate were undeniably people of color. It was amusing at best, maddening at worst to see white men like Biden, Buttigieg, and Bloomberg. But isn't being gay kind of like not be? Doesn't him being gay cancel out the white and make him kind of? I guess not. Vying to raise their hands and point fingers at one another about past policies that harm people of color. Tom Steyer, in one of his few relevant utterances of the night, announced that everything operated under the giant subtext of race, and he was right. I liked Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar. Amy Klobuchar, who's abusive to her staff, and Elizabeth Warren. You know, so this girl who is obsessed with race likes Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren was claiming to be a person of color her entire adult life until recently. Don't they teach you about that at Stanford? I liked Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar. They were refreshing. Perhaps both women were at an inherent disadvantage in a debate that required candidates to yell, interrupt, and take up space. Despite their convincing performances, the women senators struggled to make anything stick. She was least impressed. Let's see here. Says, the candidate I was least impressed by. Nobody seemed to break through the white noise, or she's all into being white, or offer anything new. Bernie Sanders, perhaps comfortable in the frontrunner status, made little effort to appeal to new voters outside of his usual discourse. Meanwhile, Buttigieg, Biden, and Bloomberg felt like progressively more out-of-touch versions of one another, like a series of those Snapchat filters that show you how you will age. Oh my gosh. Okay, now they've gone to a 16-year-old boy named Stachel. What kind of name is Stachel? 16-year-old. Who gives a damn what a 16-year-old? He's not even going to be old enough to vote in this election. 16-year-old Stachel says what was missing from the debate, neither the environment nor climate change was mentioned by the moderators, not once. They got a few mentions from Sanders, Steyer, and Buttigieg, and the issue has been briefly discussed in previous debates, but it is frankly absurd that the issues that will be the biggest threats to our way of life in the 21st century weren't debated. I'm still waiting for the pointed question to the candidate to oppose nuclear power. Or, you know, by the way, nuclear power is completely clean energy. A nuclear reactor is basically a steam engine of sorts. Very powerful, very clean energy. They're opposed to everything, right? Let's see here. What else does he say? Blah, 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 blah. The moment I'll remember is Biden saying, I will win South Carolina. He said he'd win, and the moderators asked him what would happen if he didn't. He said he would win. Asked again in the spin room, he said he would win. If Saturday's results roll in and Biden doesn't win, it'll be clear that he's done. Does that sound like something 16-year-old Stachel says? I don't know. Okay. We got a 20-year-old from Arizona State University. That's where Steve's son graduated, I believe. Irene Franco Rubio, 20. Oh, my gosh, she's got 3 names, and she's not even married yet. You know what that means. Oh, boy. What was missing? She says, children are still being separated from their families, but immigration reform was not even touched upon. Children are being separated from adults who claim to be their parent or legal guardian until immigration officials can determine whether or not that is truly their family member or legal guardian. Okay? And if they are determined to be their legal guardian or a parent, they're reunited. Irene Franco Rubio from Arizona State University. That's a good thing. President Trump is helping them. He's helping those children not be sold into sex slavery or some adoption scam or being used by coyotes just to get people in the country and then rotated back. And she goes on with her 3 names. Climate change was only mentioned when foreign affairs was brought into question, though it was not of the utmost importance. Now, this is a new word for me. Does anyone know what this word is? She describes herself as this. As a young Latinx person. A young Latinx person. Latinx. That sounds like dominatrix. Let me look that up. What is a Latinx person? Lantinx. Latinx. What's a Latinx? Latinx. Oh my goodness. There's more words. I don't know them. I got to go back to college because they got all these new words and phrases. I don't know what any of them are. Okay, she's a Latinx person. Latinx is a gender-neutral neologism, sometimes used instead of Latino or Latina, to refer to people of Latin American culture or ethnic identity in the United States. What? Let me go to the Wikipedia. Latinx was a term first seen around 2004, predominantly online, among intersectional advocacy groups, combining the identity politics of race, class, and gender. It slowly gained in usage, and around 2014, universities began using it. Words used for similar purposes include Chicanx. Okay. Reactions to the term have been mixed. Supporters say it encourages greater acceptance among non-binary gender Latinxes. Both supporters and detractors point to linguistic imperialism as the reason for respectively supporting or opposing the use of the term. Latinx. Okay, I still don't really know what it means. Is she non-binary? I don't know. That'd be fine. I don't know. There's a vocabulary out there. What time is it? Oh my goodness. There's a whole vocabulary I just don't understand. Hold on. Okay, as a young Latinx person, both of these issues are at the top priority, considering my community in Phoenix is especially impacted when it comes to immigration, and the future of our planet is at stake. She says, I was least impressed by Bloomberg. He's a billionaire. Oh, well, okay. Next, 17-year-old Sophia, she's in high school. I like Bernie Sanders. He had answers prepared, considering the fire he was faced with. He responded relatively well, linking his comments to Obama's was smart. He also pointed out that 47 out of 50 polls have shown him beating Donald Trump. Joe Biden also had a surprisingly solid night, and his choice to be polite and avoid butting in made him look more level-headed than his counterparts. I didn't like Pete Buttigieg, 17-year-old kid says. Pete Buttigieg looked desperate to get speaking time, and he interrupted Sanders and other candidates at every possible moment he could. He came off as arrogant and rude. My favorite moment was Elizabeth Warren taking on Michael Bloomberg, talking about how he poured money into her Republican opponent. It was an incredibly effective way to demonstrate how recently he has changed his positions, including his view on stop and frisk. What was missing? The fact that Bloomberg was asked about his choice to ban trans fats in New York City, but there was no time to ask about climate change. This is deeply concerning and appalling. And why were candidates asked about North Korea and China, but not India? I don't know. They should have discussed Trump's support despite the Indian leader's persecution of Muslims. Okay. And it's time for a break. So we'll take a break. But this is what the kids think. And we learned something on the show today. Latinx is a non-binary person of Latin descent. Remember a movie with George Hamilton called Zorro the Gay Blade? Remember that movie? Boy, that's a movie they couldn't make today. Do they rerun Zorro the Gay Blade? I bet they don't. I bet they don't. All right, let's take our last break of the day, right? It's 45 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. That's right, on the radio since 1977. We'll take our break and be right back after this.
Best night's sleep in the whole wide world is MyPillow.com.
You've heard the jingle and seen the commercials, and that's right. You will get the best night's sleep you've ever had with a MyPillow. Have you not gotten your MyPillow yet? Right now is the best time to do it.
That's right, Brian. Hey guys, this is Brian's wife, Kathy, and this is the best time to get a MyPillow. They have amazing deals. Take advantage of them now.
Go to MyPillow.com, click the radio listener link, and you will see all these great deals. Like the buy one MyPillow, get one for free. There's a BOGO offer right now on the Giza Dream Sheets. Buy one set of MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets and get the second set free.
You gotta love BOGO deals. They're the best. And you can take advantage of so many right now at MyPillow.com.
There's a lot of other deals too. Again, go to MyPillow.com, click on that radio listener link, and you've got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout to get these incredible deals. So go right now to MyPillow.com, click the radio listener special. Make sure to use that promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout to take advantage of all of the great deals. You can also order by phone, 1-800-717 1-800-716-4879. Make sure to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, 1-800-716-4879.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Many people are suffering with depression, anxiety, addiction, trauma, loneliness, low self-esteem, and problems with intimacy. Day and night, they struggle to make it through. If you're feeling overwhelmed,
Hey there, hold on.
confused, frustrated, lost, and fear never being able to find satisfaction in your intimate relationships, it's time to be proactive. Call me. Let's talk. I am Dr. Janae Lomaski, a licensed psychologist. You can reach me at 561-777-2021. That's 561-777-2021. Or you can find my number at stevekaneshow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. And it's time for the Gold Report with William Yargerman, who's been in business since 1967. So the 7 is a common number here on the show with the Gold Report. William Yargerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are the metals doing?
Metals are doing good, and it's certainly a lot better than the stock market, which is poised for another 350-point drop this morning. And the 10-year Treasury now down to 1.27. I think that's probably the lowest I've ever seen it. The ratio to silver to gold has also dropped to about 91 to 1 ratio. That's the highest ratio I've ever seen. Silver being way under the price of gold. And that being said, gold was up $6.20 yesterday, closing at $1,640.80, while silver was down another 4 cents at $17.89. Platinum was down $13 at $912. And palladium, of course, bucking all those industrial metal trends, up $79 at $2,671 an ounce. This morning we see gold poised up nicely again, up $9.20 right now at $1,650 the ounce. And that's certainly anticipating another 350-point drop in the Dow, or who knows how much more, after dropping over 2,000 points in just 2 days. The silver is up 2 cents right now at $17.91 the ounce. Platinum down $2 at $910, and palladium down $19 at $2,652 the ounce. So, again, the markets, the precious metals market's pretty much stable. Gold, good support down around that 1625 number, which we bounced off of again. That was our breakthrough number, which we had predicted, and then the silver having still resistance to stay above that $18 number, while platinum has found good support above 900. That's pretty much where we are this morning. If you haven't got any gold or silver in your portfolio, you certainly want to take advantage of any dip in these metals.
Well, when you diversify and you have metals, and when things like this happen in the stock market, you're not sweating it, because that's what diversifying is all about. And I'll tell you, if you have anything made of the metals that you want to turn into cash, or maybe you have something that you would like to turn into a coin, William Yargerman, being in business since 1967, when you go in there for your appraisal, you are going to get offered what it is worth. And I'll tell you, William Yargerman, there are a lot of people around that offer to buy this and that from you, and basically what these guys offer is what they think you will take. At William Yargerman, you'll get an honest appraisal on whatever you bring in, and I've talked to many listeners who have been very happy after they've stopped by to turn anything they had of the metals, watches, jewelry, anything turned into cash, or oftentimes into coins. Give William Yargerman a call. His number is toll-free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYargerman.com, and of course located in Boca Raton on the first floor of the Bank of America building on Palmetto Park Road, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. All right, William Yargerman, we'll talk tomorrow. You too, take care. Yeah, I know, it's true. All these things, I tell you. I got next week, because we're moving into a new month. I just want to say we have a bunch of new sponsors joining us here on the Steve Kane Show. like our Ace Hardware locations that we're advertising. And I'm taking my daughter over to Ace Hardware this weekend. She's going to paint her room. I'm taking her over there to get painting supplies. We have some new advertisers that are joining us on Monday. And all of you out there that support the advertisers of the Steve Kane Show, thank you so much for doing so. You know, I hear from our sponsors and I hear from you, and you know, Steve and I would both like to thank all of you for supporting our sponsors. And one thing though, somebody had called in the other day and asked about Ace Hardware. Are you just advertising those 2 locations? And my answer to him is yes. Those 2 locations of Ace Hardware are the 2 that are advertising with us here on the Steve Kane Show. The Deerfield Beach location, which is just south of Hillsborough Boulevard on the west side of US 1 Federal Highway, and Beach Ace Hardware, which is in Lauderdale by the Sea off of Commercial Boulevard. And yes, so we have some new sponsors joining us next week. And sometimes you'll hear us with someone like Ace Hardware, and we're promoting particular locations. That means those locations are the ones that are advertising with us. And there are 2 new sponsors in particular you'll hear about Monday morning. And pay careful attention to the locations we give. And again, all of you out there that support our advertisers, thank you so much for doing that, from both Steve Kane and myself, because that's what keeps the show going, is your support of our sponsors. All right, good morning. You're on the radio. Hey, John in Okeechobee. How you doing?
That disease acts like it was weaponized. It's not spread by airborne transmissions. If you check, almost everybody, like 95% of the people so far, have been diagnosed in Wuhan. Even those guys in South Korea, there were 200 of them who had just come back from Wuhan.
Well, listen, I'm no expert on anything, okay, when it comes to this kind of stuff. But I will say, you know, this, that in Asia, China in particular, they don't have the immune system that we have. They don't have the inoculations and vaccinations we have. And also, they don't have, they're not as healthy, in particular when it comes to lungs. Lung health in China, because of the air quality, is not what it is here. So to compare Americans to what's going on, you know, we're talking about people living in an oppressive third world situation. There's no comparisons to be made.
And they're gonna lie to you anyway. They may well have sprayed their whole population with an agent.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to get involved in any strange conspiracy theories. I know that's kind of a fad thing to do right now among people, but I'm not going to get into conspiracy. But I do know this. I watched the president's press conference yesterday, and President Trump seems to have everything under control, doesn't he? Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, I felt so confident. It was much better than Hillary. What difference does it make? You know, and you know, or Nancy Pelosi saying yesterday, all the top experts at the Centers for Disease Control were fired 2 years ago. There's no one there that can handle this, and it's too late. You know, the panic that
surrounds himself with CDC people.
Well, here's the thing, okay? It's so interesting when you know, Donald Trump with the Celebrity Apprentice, someone that is an executive or in management of any kind, if you're in management at any level, or you're an executive of a company, or the chief executive of the United States, the most important thing you can do is surround yourself by the best in their fields. Smart, competent people who are tops in their field. And that's what a great manager does. That's what a great executive does, and a great chief executive does, which is what the president is. And you go back to the days of Donald Trump's apprentice, and the purpose of the apprentice was to find the best person out of that group of people who could be the apprentice at the senior executive level with Donald Trump. Donald Trump always surrounds himself with the best and the brightest in everything he does. And he did yesterday.
You know, like
Jimmy Carter with the map. I don't remember the map with Jimmy Carter. I remember the sweater. What was the deal with the map with Jimmy Carter? I was too young. I don't know. Well, next time. Good morning. You're on the radio. Little difficulty with the phone there? Okay. Oh, boy, that's just what you want for the last call. No more calls. We'll end on a low note with that call, fumbling for the receiver. But, yeah. Listen, I'll be back with you live tomorrow morning. It'll be Friday at 6 a.m. Make sure you join us. And I got to tell you, if you don't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube. I live stream the radio show each and every morning. Right there on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube. If you miss a part of the show, you can always go back on YouTube and catch the part that you missed. And, you know, YouTube, people watch sometimes on their cell phones, their iPads, their tablets, their computers, even on their televisions at home. If you got a smart TV, you can catch us. Brian Craig on YouTube. And I also upload my podcast to YouTube. I'm on most podcast platforms. But if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can catch the Steve Kane Show live. And I do archive it each and every day after the show. And you can also catch my podcast on my YouTube channel. That's Brian Craig on YouTube. And one more quick plug for myself. Also follow me on Instagram, Brian Craig Show on Instagram and Brian Craig Show on Twitter. If you don't do that, Instagram and Twitter, both Brian Craig Show. And you can follow me along. And, you know, I do a lot of random live streams on my YouTube channel. I have hundreds of videos up there. And if I do short videos, like this morning I did a couple before I went on the air, I'll do that on Instagram Live. So Brian Craig Show on Instagram, Brian Craig on YouTube. Make sure you guys follow and subscribe. All right, take care, everyone. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Again, my name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday morning at 6 a.m. Take care and have a great day.
Does your life insurance policy
all right, guys,
only pay
subscribe if
someone
you're
you
not,
die?
and I'll
Your
see
life
you all
insurance
later. All right, take
policies
care. Thanks for
allow you to
watching.
access your benefits even